Hello everybody. So this is an episode about legalism, which is one of the most important philosophy back in China. The title is The First Algorithmic State: How Shang Yang Turned People into Data. Before algorithms, there was legalism. No smartphone, no database, no HR dashboard, no credit scores, no performance review software, no app reminding you that your productivity is down 70% and your soul is no longer aligned with company goals. But the dream was already there. Make society measurable, make behavior predictable, make reward and punishment automatic, make every person useful to the state. That's why legalism feels so dark, not because it's ancient, but because it feels modern. When you hear Chinese philosophy, they usually imagine Confucius, a calm old man, nice beard, moral wisdom, drink tea and become spiritually employable. But behind the soft image, there was another tradition: harder, colder, more mechanical legalism. And legalism was not trying to make you a better person. That's not the point. Legalism didn't look at human beings and ask, are they virtuous? Can spiritually fulfilled? Are they living the truth? Legalism asks a more practical question. Can they be counted, taxed, punished, rewarded? Can they farm? Can they fight? Can they obey? Can they be used? Confucianism wanted to make people good. Legalism wanted to make people usable. That's the difference. Once you understand that, ancient China suddenly stops looking ancient. It starts looking like very early version of modern world. Shang Yang understood something brutally simple. Don't waste your time begging people to be good. Design a system where their interests force them to behave the way the state wants. That's a legalist genius. It's not a sermon. It's an incentive structure. Confucius might say, cultivate virtue, respect ritual, become human. Shang Yang say, cute. Now show me the tax record. Legalism began with the suspicion. Human beings are not naturally noble. They chase profit, they await pain, they protect themselves, they respond to fear and reward. So the ruler's job is not to inspire beautiful souls. The ruler's job is to design consequences, reward what strengthens the state, punish what weakens the state, make the path of survival pass through obedience. It's not poetry, it's system design. This is why Shang Yang feels less like an ancient philosopher and more like the worst possible combination of a military strategist, tax officer, HR consultant, and app developer. He did not write a philosophy of the cell. He wrote a user manual for power. The first step is to make people visible. A state can't control what it can't see, so legalism loves registration, households, population, land, labor, taxes, military service, who live where, who belong to whom, who can be moved, who can be punished, who can be recorded, who can be held responsible. It sounds boring, but boredom is where power has its sharpest tools. A list is never a list. A list is a way of turning human life into state readable units. Before registration, a person is a neighbor, a son, a farmer, a wanderer, a voice, a face. After registration, he becomes an entry, a household, a labor unit, tax unit, military unit. Modern people should understand this well. You are a person, but to the system, you are also a SSN, a tax ID, a passport file, a credit score, a medical record, an immigration status, a data trail, an employee number. The modern world did not invent this design. It perfected it. Perfects it. Legalism was the early dream of making society readable, and once society becomes readable, it becomes manageable. Once it becomes manageable, it becomes usable. Once human beings become usable, the question becomes usable for what? Legalism answer was clear: for the state, especially for farming and war. That sounds simple, but enormous. The legalist state doesn't want people floating around chasing private dreams. Private dreams are messy. Merchants travel, scholars argue, artists becoming emotional in ways that don't increase green green production. Religious people may start asking questions about rulers' pay grade. But farmers and soldiers are useful. Farmers produce the base. Soldiers expand and defend the state. Legalism try to narrow society imagination. Don't chase luxury. Don't build independent wealth. Don't become too socially powerful outside the state. Don't make the family, market, private network stronger than the ruler. The state wants all roads to lead back to itself. That's why what makes legalism so cold. It doesn't merely rule people. It edits a range of lives that are allowed to matter. You may have ambition. Let the state define the latter. You may want horror. Let the state decide what counts as horror. You may want honor. Let the state decide what counts as honor. You may want status. Earn it by serving the machine. Legalism doesn't kill ambition. It nationalizes ambition. This is why military merit is so important. In older aristocratic words, your status comes from birth, family, bloodline. You inherited name. Legalism says this is inefficient. The state doesn't care whether your grandfather was impressive. Can you serve now? Can you fight? Can you produce? Can you deliver measurable value? This is why legalism can look strangely modern. It attacks old privilege. It creates mobility. It rewards performance. It says no more soft aristocratic laziness. Show results. Motivational, very LinkedIn. Here's the trap. The person is not liberated. He is reattached to a harder machine. Instead of being trapped by birth, he is measured by usefulness. Instead of asking, who are you? The state asks, what can you produce for me? It's the dark side of meritocracy. Meritocracy. Merit sounds fair, but merit depends on who defines the test. If the state defines merit, the best person is the person most useful to the state. It's not freedom, it's optimized obedience. Legalism did not destroy hierarchy, it made hierarchy measurable. Then come one of the darkest legalist invention, collective responsibility. The idea is simple and terrifying. If one person breaks a rule, others may be punished too. Family, neighbors, groups, community. It changes everything because now the state doesn't need to watch everybody directly. People watch each other. Your neighbor becomes a security camera with feeling. Your family becomes a complaints department with ancestors. Your community becomes a network of potential informants, not always because they are evil, but because they are afraid. This is genius and horrible. All normal punishments say you did wrong, you suffer. Collective punishments say if you do wrong, people around you suffer. Now guilt becomes social. Fear becomes distributed. The state moves into a relationship. A father fears a son's mistake. A neighbor fears the neighbor's mouth. A village fears that one person who can't stay quiet. It's not punishment. It's social engineering. Modern platforms understand this too. They don't only ban one account. They create community rules, reputation system, reporting system, risk labels, visibility penalties, content moderation. Everyone learns to monitor themselves and others. Modern institutions rarely say, please spy on each other. They say, help us keep the community safe. Beautiful language, same structure. The cheapest police force is society itself. This is where the state becomes God idea began to make sense. Not because people worship the state like a temple. The state becomes godlike when it becomes a high system of judgment. It measures you, names you, ranks you, rewards you, punishes you, defines your worth, control your future, determine whether your life counts as useful. That's what gods do in many religious words. They see, judge, reward, punish. They define ultimate value. Legalism builds a secular version of that. No heaven required, no church required, no salvation required. Just law, registration, reward, punishment, and totally political purpose. The state doesn't need you to love it. You only need to organize your life around its consequences. That's why legalism is not merely a political philosophy. It's a faith in power, a faith that order can be built if human beings are simplified enough. Simplify into incentives, into records, into labor, into soldier, into obedience. The legalist state look at human soul and say, too complicated. Can we get this in spreadsheet format? Legalism, Confucianism manage meaning. Legalism manage consequences. Confucianism asks you to internalize order. Legalism makes disorder expensive. Confucianism gave power a no more face. Legalism gave power iron hands. Today they become extremely durable because meaning alone can be ignored, punishment alone can be hated. But meaning plus punishment, this is civilization with teeth. It's a smile holding a sword. Every modern society contains a little legalism. Every modern state wants registration. Every company wants merits. School want ranking. Platform want behavior data. Immigration system want file. Every bank wants risk scores. Government wants citizens to become legible. Modern life is full of Shang Yang descendants. They wear shoes now. They have dashboards. They say things like optimization, efficiency, compliance, risk management, data-driven policy, performance indicators. Clean, modern, spiritually depressing. The difference is not the modern systems are legalist and ancient systems are not. The difference is that modern systems have better technology and better branding. Legalism use law and punishment. Modernity use law, punishment, data, platform, incentives, surveillance, paperwork, and occasionally a cheerful email with a pastel logo. Pastel logo. Modern power smile at the front desk and calculates in the server room. Think about corporation. Companies say we value people, we're a family, bring your whole self to work. We care about wellness. Then the backend say KPI performance review, access revoked, budget reduction, the layoff from your whole self has been placed on a performance improvement plan. It's modern legalism with better furniture. Think about a platform. We connect the world, we empower creator, we build community. Then the backend say demonetized, shadow banned, reduced reach, terms violation. Not advertised friendly. You don't know which god you offended. Only the algorithm is displeased. Asian legalism punish body. Modern system punish visibility. Logic is similar. Define the rule. Measure the behavior. Reward complaints. Punish deviation. Make people adapt themselves before they can fully understand the system. We must be fair. Legalism did not appear because ancient China thinkers were cartoon villains. It appeared in a world of war, competing states, constant danger, rulers fighting for survival. A state that couldn't mobilize resources might be destroyed. In a world, moral softness looked like suicide. Legalism's darkness comes from its realism. It saw chaos and answered with system. It saw human selfishness and answered with incentives. Saw disorder answered with standardization. Saw aristocratic privilege and answered with performance. It saw scattered society answered with central power. This is why legalism can be dismissed as pure evil. It solved the real problem. The most durable systems are not pure light. They're useful truths arranged in the service of power. Legalism do something true. People respond to incentives. Systems shape behavior. Institution matter. Good intention not enough. A state needs structure. Legalism took those truths and built a world where usefulness became the measure of the human. That's a tragedy. Not that it was wrong about everything, but that it was right about enough to become powerful. The deepest danger is not cruelty. Cruelty is visible. People can recognize cruelty. The deeper danger is reduction. A human being becomes a function. A family becomes a unit. A village becomes a control network. A farmer becomes growing output. A man becomes military potential. A life becomes state capacity. The soul disappears without anyone needing to deny it. It simply becomes irrelevant. That's a nightmare that modern people understand. You may not live under Shang Yang, but you know what it feels like to become a merit, a grade, score, ranking, risk profile, productivity graph, a visa case number, customer segment, a body in a database. Modern systems don't always hate you. They simply don't need your humanity in order to process you. So when you say this state become God, we should be precise. This state become God like when you became the final interpreter of value, not truth, usefulness, not salvation, order, not dignity, capacity, not self-function. In Christianity, the human being stands before God. In legalism, the human being stands before the system. The system asks, what are you good for? It's a terrifying question because it sounds reasonable. Everyone wants to be useful. Nobody wants to be useless. But a civilization becomes dangerous when usefulness becomes the highest measure of human life. Children become future workers, students become exam results, citizens become stability units, workers become productivity units, creators become engagement units, immigration become case number, people become parts, and the machine calls this order. Legalism turns society into a machine and call the parts people. I think